You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play Star Wars podcast. My name is Adam, and I'll be your host and the GM for Episode 8 of the Coldfire Chronicles. Our players are...
My name is Mikey. I'm playing Jiren, a Chiss Mystic Advisor. My emotional strengths are my enthusiasm, but my emotional weakness is my recklessness.
I'm Ross. I'm playing Agatha, a Morailan warrior aggressor. My emotional strength is my pride, but my weakness is my anger.
My name is Ed Fortune, and I'm playing Oberon Brick. He is a human seeker hunter. His moral strength is his thirst for justice, and his moral weakness is his penchant for cruelty.
I'm Mim, and I'm playing Larsa. She is a human sentinel artisan. Her moral strength is curiosity, but her weakness is obsession.
So, Jiren, prior to coming to Daxos, what was it you actually did?
The question isn't what I actually did, it's what I did not do. If we were going to band it all into one thing, I was a ship's captain. My ship was called the Foolhardy Gambit. It's not the best of names, I know, but it was second-hand when the person before me got it. It was an old rust bucket. But we travelled around, we did cargo runs, we did the acquisition of goods. Sometimes these goods were not what... Let us say we did a few crimes, but we're not bad people. We're not bad people. Unfortunately, my first mate decided that he wanted to be captain of the ship, and this is why I'm here.
Okay, Agatha, what about yourself?
Agatha worked in personal protection until met personal protection of somebody else, and it was a Wookiee, and it didn't go well. Well, I survived, so it went well.
Oberon, what about yourself?
Oberon was first son and heir to the Brick family legacy. They were mostly a political family with substantial access to arms and the arms industry. Mostly that meant that he sat on his bottom and did nothing, but he didn't like doing nothing, so he spent most of his time in Canto Bight looking after the Faviers, making sure that the Faviers were treated well. He would arrange things like the hunt and the gymkhana and the events for the hunt, and he was very, very well looked after and very well regarded because people were very much scared of his father. And it was only after a certain point that he realised what the hunts were for and the people who were being hunted and the fact that people, not things, were being hunted, that things started to go wrong.
And Larsa, what about yourself before coming here?
Before coming here, I spent most of my time on a Corellian hauler. It was called the Witch. She was a very fine ship. I spent a lot of time there with the crew, just making sure things ticked over. I joined up there when I was quite young and got taken under by old Dougie. And Dougie used to keep it running, purring like some kind of kitten. It was gorgeous. I loved my time there, but we had a bit of an issue in that the captain lost the ship. We didn't need much of a crew after that, so I took the first ride I could somewhere that was looking for good honest labour. And that's how I came here, but I do miss it. I miss the stars.
When we last left our protagonists, they had successfully saved their mentor Pyjak from being badly beaten in his prison cell, travelled through the pipes back down to the engineering room, where Larsa has been keeping a watch on things remotely, and found a conveniently sized box into which to ignobly bundle their boss. However, they are not free yet, and with the base alerted and looking for escaped prisoners, with Stormtrooper squads searching section by section, will they be able to make it out and get away from here with their lives intact? Let's find out. So you're in the engineering room. You've successfully emerged from the pipes, all of you now looking very much the worse for the journey. Bundled between Agatha and Jiren is Pyjak. He's recovered enough consciousness that he's been able to assist with his own transport, as it were, but he's still not very well. He's very, very badly beaten. Both of his eyes are swollen up almost so that he can't see out of them. He's clearly missing some teeth. His jaw is possibly broken. He's covered in bruises. And where his bare skin has come into contact with some of the pipes, there are now some slightly fresh burn marks on there from clawing through.
I can't do anything to help him at the moment. I really wish I could, Pyjak, but at the moment, we don't have the time. We need to get you out.
Somebody give him a stim pack.
Here is a stim pack.
I inject him with the stim pack to give him a little bit of a perk to himself.
I think we should bundle him up and try and get straight to the lift. I'm going to take your
I am going to stop you. Pyjak, where is the ship? Where is Coldfire's Mercy?
The ship's back in my house, underneath the meditation chamber. There's a secret passage. It'll take you to the cave where the ship's stashed. I managed to divert a river, freeze a wall over the front of the cave so these grey-headed scum couldn't find it. You might need to blast your way out of there. I don't know what condition she's going to be in, though. She's been down there for 15 years.
You're a wonderful man, Pyjak. And at the same time, I am so angry at what you've gotten us into.
I'm doing this to save your life, Larsa. They found out about you. I don't know how, but Look, there's no time to discuss how I knew what was going on and how I knew I needed to get you out of here now. They're looking for us. We can have this conversation back at mine.
We need to go down to the garage and get a speeder. We can't walk out of here. They will pick us up.
We need to get 2 speeders.
J-Rain, give me your authentic-looking pad, the important one. I think the best thing to do is if you carry him out, I want you to look straight ahead as you walk out and walk straight to the lift. If anyone tries to stop you, I'll be behind you. People have already assumed that you're under my command, doing some jobs. Don't open your mouth, J-Rain. You're just a bit too smart for this.
I'm afraid I cannot rightfully say I will not open my mouth. We might need to talk our way past something very quickly.
At this, Prinkle, who's been keeping watch, turns round. Can you move me a dark side point over to light as well, please?
There's a squad. They're coming. They're coming here. They're heading straight down the corridor.
And then he kind of ducks and shuts the door. Kind of then turns to look at the 5 of you.
Well, that is that out of the way.
Do any of these vents go straight outside?
Yeah, the one
that we came in through, of course. Alright, in that case, we're going to go out the way we came.
Okay. Not going to put Pyjak in a box because it's easier to move in with walking.
Yes.
And we will go out to the outside.
Okay.
It's trying to be so smart.
You grab your gear. You start making your way out.
I have a question at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth me committing some force power to try and increase my brawn so I can lift this box with him in it? If we're carrying him
We've
out?
taken him out the box.
He's not got in the box.
We were
said
carrying him generally, weren't we?
Yes.
You are
You
carrying
can carry him, but you don't need to carry the box.
Yeah, you won't be able to get the box through the escape hatch back to outside that you guys came in through. It's just too narrow.
We still need to get him past the guards generally. Okay, they're going to see us and are they going to assume the
I
worst
think
of us?
we're escaping via the same route.
Yeah, no, that's fine, but are we looking like we're carrying a person or are we looking like we're carrying
Hopefully
equipment?
no one will see us, because the way we came in, we skirted the far side and then took you in via a vent, none of the entrances. We didn't come against any guards then. So we're hopefully going to go the same way.
Yeah, but we're still looking like we belong there, and carrying a person rather than especially a beaten up prisoner is still looking more suspicious than carrying a box.
We'll deal with that when they catch us.
Well,
Okay.
when we get out, we can switch around some clothing or something, I reckon.
Okay, is it still worth me carrying this, putting some forced effort into carrying someone swiftly so that everybody else's hands are free to deal with whatever else we encounter?
The door to the engineering room starts to rattle and slide open.
Move. We need to move.
We're moving.
Whatever you need, my love.
You carry him. You're the biggest.
Right, you deal with what's coming, I'll carry him. I'm committing force dice to increase my brawn for the purposes of the next little while.
Can I set an alarm or a shutdown in this room to stop the door from opening, like an emergency sealing?
You can. You don't need to roll for it. I just need you to say that you're doing it.
All right, I'm gonna shut this room off as an emergency containing thing.
Can you move me a dark side point over to light side? Because you managed to hit the emergency close button, which, as I say, is designed to seal this room off in case of vents. However, not before the door starts to open. The door opens. 3 stormtroopers see you basically hitting the release. As they bring their blasters up, the bulkhead door slams closed. But they have definitely seen you, Lassa, aiding and abetting.
No time to deal with that now. Get me
And
out of there.
the alarm starts to ring again. You make your way out through the vents, Agatha helping Pyjak. The stim pack has definitely helped him. Right. He's now able to walk as opposed to be carried. The swelling around his eyes has gone down a little bit, but he's still clearly badly hurt. More importantly, as soon as his sweaty bare torso gets out there in the freezing cold, very, very quickly he's going to start succumbing. Luckily, Oberon, I think I can preempt you there. You've got all those furs wrapped around your rifle and armour in your bag.
I need to get I need to change my boots as well.
You do, because you've only got one shoe.
So I change my boots into my armour. So I'm essentially half my upper body is black and red and kind of noticeable. And I start putting my furs round Pyjak.
Okay, this is all going on, I presume, as you're frantically winding your way through the little thin vents that you came in through.
Yes.
You make it outside. Compared to the heat and the closeness and the smells of the engineering room and the sounds, being suddenly outside in the clean, fresh, cold air, it's like a slap in your face that fires all your senses. Suddenly, it's that real exhilarating jolt. You can hear from inside the base the alarms going off. You can see from outside the quad laser on the corner where you are starts to circle around, looking and tracking the sky. There's no stormtroopers or anyone coming round to the back of the building, but then again, it's only been a few moments since you came out there. Pyjak starts shivering as soon as he hits the air. You manage to bundle furs over him, while Oberon frantically wraps his armour on over his top, pulls on a fresh pair of boots.
Well, basically, what I'm wearing, I'm going to put onto Pyjak and then change.
Okay.
So I've lost some stealth, but...
Prinkle, come here. I pick Prinkle up. I imagine he's not going to be doing too well at traversing through snow.
No, he's struggling a little bit, but yeah, he kind of gets out. And are you hopping on your back Yoda style?
Exactly.
Yeah, he climbs onto your back. He hasn't brought his mop with him, obviously, but you do notice that sticking out of one of the big pockets on his trousers is a comically for him oversized pipe wrench that is kind of wedged in there. His other pockets are bulging with something. He's loaded them up with something, and yeah, he's on your back. He's pretty light, really. Mm-hmm. He's both very small and extremely malnourished because they don't feed him very well because he's vermin, as far as the Empire are concerned. He's there to clean the floors until he dies.
Can anyone else use this blaster?
No, I have never used a gun in my life.
Give me your rifle back, then.
Prinkle kind of looks at the pistol and slowly starts to raise his hand.
I immediately recognise a volunteer. Give him the blaster.
So Prinkle is now hanging onto your back, Jaren, with a pistol in his hand. It is clear, certainly, it will come as no surprise that Pyjak clearly knows his way around weaponry, but he's still not healed enough to
use it.
Yeah. Just throwing that in there because you know that this man knows how to shoot, but at the moment he's in no fit state particularly.
I really wish we could have those speeders now.
Yes, we are going to get picked off, but we should try anyway.
The speeders, they're on the ground floor as well, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're on the front.
There is no way we are going to be able to get back to his domicile without being picked off. We need those speeders.
So we'll have to edge our way round. I might still have some... It's possible that Jacob doesn't know that I'm in trouble.
I'm going to go and get a speeder. Who's coming with me?
I'm coming with you. One moment. I stop. I think. I relax. I open myself up to the Force. And I try and see the path ahead. I have a feeling I know what's coming.
2 dark side points.
I'm hoping it's not that.
Because I'm sure I should be like, oh, it's the Force, but it's like, oh, it's the Force.
So do I just roll this?
You just roll the force die. Tell me what you get.
2 light side.
You open yourself up to the Force.
Full lotus, wet bottom time, because it's in the snow.
Unlike the previous times over the last day or so that you've thrown your consciousness open to the universe and hoped desperately for a clue, this time round there is no sense of impending fear, there's no sense of being hunted like prey. The coldness and the slickness that has previously washed over you isn't there. This time you feel filled with heat, with light, with purpose. Like all your senses are firing at once and honed to super sharpness.
I would like to, at this point, run to the light, because I've not really seen it at this point. My life has mostly been darkness. I'm a grey-skinned, overprivileged bit of poodoo, to be honest, and I've never really seen... I know it's there, but at this point, I'm running to the light.
You throw yourself into the glow. You get this sudden feeling of peace, of oneness, of being part of something much, much bigger than you. And you see snapshots. The first set of snapshots show yourself, Jaren and Larsa making your way around the edge of the base to the front door. There's a danger waiting in there, a readiness, and you know that if you carry on down that path, while you may succeed, it will not be without a cost. And then you pull back, and it's like a deck of cards being shuffled again. And you're back in the engineering room. And there's pipes. Pipes which lead through the walls. Pipes which lead into an extremely dusty, spiderweb covered maintenance corridor. Overhead there are cables. And though there's the same sense of danger waiting for you, you feel like, when weighing up the odds, the thumb of fate is on your scale, not that of your enemies. And then you're back.
I pick myself up. I'm assuming everyone's staring at me.
No, we've moved a bit.
We've all gone. No, yeah, we're all staring.
No, I'm definitely staring at you.
We shouldn't go straight to the Landspeeder garage. They're waiting for us. They're definitely waiting for us. Is there another hangar somewhere? I saw a dusty corridor somewhere through the pipe system, like abandoned. There's still danger, but like an abandoned storage area. There's like big thick cables overhead.
You might be right. I'd have to really have a think about the right way. But
Big thick cables overhead, maintenance walkways. What would they connect to?
the turrets, the guns.
Oh yeah. Mind you, they don't point down, but still. Mind you, they do point up, so it might be a problem if we're trying to leave. That's a point. That's a very good point.
Are you thinking shut them down before we make a break for it, or?
At this point, Prinkle kind of leans over Jerry.
I think there might be an access hatch in the hangar and the garage that leads up there. I spilled some cleaning fluid in there, and the captain, he beat me very hard. He said that I can't go near that hatch. It's not for folks such as me. If that leads to the walls, then you might be able to do like you did with the pipes to rescue Pyjak.
Oh, so we can get to the hangar through the pipe.
Prinkle, you are wonderful. I told you that you were a furry genius.
If he could blush, he would do. As it is, the hair on his head kind of rough up in a little mohican, then back down again, and he kind of looks.
Okay, so what are we doing? We need to move now. There are stormtroopers behind this door over here.
You had a radio. Can you misdirect them?
I do not sound like an Imperial. That is the problem.
No, but we know someone who does. Oberon, put that posh boy voice to some use. Maybe mark the ground so it looks like that we've continued out of this, because they saw us. They know
that I can do. What do I say to... I don't understand Stormtrooper code protocols, I'm afraid.
Let's just get to the... Let's go. Let's not worry about this. Let's go.
Okay, let's get back into the pipes if we can.
Yep, not a problem. You can see that the blast door that's come down, parts of it are glowing cherry red, where it looks like they're trying to cut through.
All right, so we've got to get in another one. Pretty sharpish.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's go. They're coming right now.
A perception test, please. It's just one of you, whoever's got the highest.
That's not me.
No, we found that out last time.
I've got one level in perception.
Okay.
So I suppose it's me. Here we go. And what am I rolling against?
1 red.
1 red.
Can you get a bonus dice because I am not hindered by dark corners and such like that?
Yes. I will give you a blue.
You're so nice. All right, that's 1 success and 3 advantage.
Yep, you find it. And the advantage can be that you find it very, very quickly. It turns out that, that there's a maintenance hatch. It's behind one of the lockers, but it's there. It looks like it leads into the walls. It's quite small. Everyone's going to need to hunch over, but it's not as tight as the pipes were. It's a proper maintenance hatch. It looks like it might have been designed for Ugnaughts or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Prinkle's fine. It barely brushes the tips of his long, pointy ears.
Okay, so we leave the door to the outside still open, so they can think we've gone that way.
Yep.
And we will dart in, closing the maintenance hatch after us.
Yep.
I would like to use my expert tracker ability to lay a full straight.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to make you need to roll for that. It's implicit in what you can do. How far away are you leading the trail?
Not very far, because I'm improvising and very quick. I'm being as quick as I can.
Yeah.
It's just enough to give them pause.
Okay, that's fine. So you'll be the last into the tunnels then, essentially, and closing the maintenance hatch behind you. These tunnels are extremely claustrophobic. There is absolutely no light in here whatsoever, barring a few little pinpricks that come through from where a panel's slightly misaligned. Mostly it's Jaron who's, I suspect, having to lead the way. He's the only one who can see here.
Well, he is both enthusiastic and reckless, so he is going first.
There are thick bundles of cables. Lasser, you recognise as very clearly high-yield power cables that run the length of this corridor. The corridor runs straight down through the wall. There is no back way from where you presently are, but that's because it's the engineering room, essentially. And it runs straight down, carrying these power cables down to what you reckon is actually the turret emplacement at the front of the base. There are a few access hatches.
It occurs to me that the way I've laid that false trail is by using the other boot.
Yeah, fair enough, that's fine. Jaron leads the way.
Keep an eye out through the hatches to see what's going on as we go past them, to see if there's any Stormtrooper activity or anything like that.
Yes, you can see essentially where this runs parallel to on this floor is the machine shop.
Yeah.
Then into the room where the stairs and turbo lifts are. Mm-hmm. Then into the landing bay where the speeders are.
Yes.
The room with the machine shop is dark. There's no one. The door is open. The lights. There's no lights on in there, and it looks like there's been a very quick, somewhat untidy search. You can hear through there, however, there are Stormtrooper voices. You can hear the crackling of a laser cutter as they're making their way through the bulkhead door.
Okay.
In the room where the stairs and the turbo lift are, there are a resounding impact of people running up and down the stairs, and echoing down the stairs, again, you can hear the sound of a welder as people are trying to get into the prison room.
Okay.
In the landing bay area itself, there is no one in there. There are the 3 speeders, 2 of which you know to work fine, 1 of which is the one that Jacob was working on. Mm-hmm. The landing bay roof is closed, keeping the snow off. There's strip lighting kind of giving some light in here. And then there's the main hangar bay door, the garage doors on the ground level, which are presently closed. But it says, you swipe your authorization, the doors open. Lasser's Pass will open, like in Ghostbusters, where you've got the big double doors with a smaller door in the middle.
Yes.
Lasser's Pass will open the smaller door to get in and out.
Yes.
Won't open the big set of doors. Another pass might, slicing might.
Okay. So how...
Or Star Wars door logic, which is if you shoot the panel, you can choose if they're open or closed, but that's what they stay as.
Okay. So how high up is the grates that we're going to be coming in through?
Ground level.
Okay.
They're low down to the ground. So you're about... You're crawling or hunched over. They're about 4 foot high, but they're on level with the ground.
They're
very cold.
I don't stop. I make space by going straight into the room.
Okay. Are you going to try and quietly take the grate off, or are you just going to kick it in?
We're going to need somebody to let us out, so I'm going to kick it in.
Okay. Yeah, you hoof the grate off. It clangs to the ground. At which point, an Imperial fellow, who Lasser will recognise as Jacob, steps out into the room. Who the hell are you?
We are supposed to be here. I am here to inspect all of the speeders. Are they in working order? I'm going to use my force power. What sort of discipline does he have?
He has 2 purple. You've got loads of light side points if you want to spend one of those.
I'm going to spend one of those light side points. We have 2 advantages, and I'm going to spend another one of the light side points to use the dark side point that I got from this to make a success.
All right. He glazes over, kind of looks at you. Those 2 are working fine, sir. This one, however, needs some work. It took snow in the compressors, and the engine isn't working functionally.
That's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yes.
Could you keep working on that? But first, I need these doors opening.
Yes, of course. He turns and walks towards the door. You notice as he goes that he's starting to bleed very slightly from the ears.
Okay.
And he walks his way over to the garage doors. As the rest of you file into the room,
I start beckoning to get people in as quick as I possibly can.
He swipes the pass. The double doors start to grind open. They're not quiet. The 2 speeders are there.
Who else can drive?
Nope.
I can pilot planetary.
Yes.
Yeah, planetary.
I don't have planetary.
If I'm carrying anybody, I'm carrying them straight into the first. Yeah, I know he can walk, but at this point,
I'm a decent pilot. How many people can we get in one of these?
You can get 4 per speeder.
But there's 6 of us. That's why we're taking 2 of them.
So, We have Agatha and Pyjak in the first one. I'm going to jump in the back with Prinkle, and if you guys want to take the other one.
All right.
So who's driving?
How different can it be from fighting in space, honestly?
Oberon and Agatha are going to pilot.
Okay, shall I take the majority of the people?
It's up to you.
Okay, I'll take the majority of the people.
Okay, then, so we'll swap them round, and it's Lassa and Agatha in one, and the rest of us in the other one.
Okay, I am going to want from both of you, please, piloting planetary roles to get out of here in time before the Stormtroopers chase you down.
It's not going to be relevant, but I'm no longer committing that dice to brawn.
Okay, I'm going to upgrade both of your checks, so please move me 2 dark side points over to light. Thank you very much, Mikey. The difficulty for both of you is 1 red, 1 purple. You don't get any blue or black die for the handling of these things, or for any other reasons at the moment. Ooh. You're just putting the hammer down, I presume.
Incidentally, while they're working out their roles, that's the first time that Jaren has done something and convinced an actual sentient person to do something quite clearly against his will. So he's jumped into the back of the speeder.
Second time. The man who was about to hit the door release button that you froze in place.
Yes, but that's just shouting stop. You can make anybody say stop when you... But in this case, that was a complicated order, and he did it. So Jaren is sitting in the back, kind of... You can see he's thinking about this and trying to work out what's going on.
Okay, Ross, what did you get?
I have 2 successes and 1 threat.
Okay, and Ed?
I have 1 failure and 2 advantage.
Okay.
I don't like that voice.
It's all right, you're in the other one now because he swapped over.
So,
yeah,
Agatha, you and Lassa in the speeder built for 2. Where are you going?
Out.
We've got to get back to Pyjak.
That's the plan. Yeah, we're going to Pyjak's house.
So you just punch it and go. Are you waiting for the other speeder, or are you just gonna?
I think the initial plan was punch it. I'm assuming they're right behind us.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yep, you punch it, you go screaming out of here, you hook round the building because you pretty much have to get near Pyjak, otherwise you're going to go off a cliff.
Yep.
Or crash into where the huge ice blocks are being piled up. You pull a hard right and you start making your way basically as fast as you can. Pretty much similar to the way that you came to get here, staying on this plateau down to where the ravine is, but not going into the ravine, taking the long way around. As you do, you see the guns trying to track onto you, but they just can't depress the elevation enough to get onto you. They fire a few shots which splaff off the snow, but not anywhere near you, as you put your foot down and get out of there.
Yeah, this isn't piloting skill, this is just pure agility of I'm banking to avoid stuff, rather than actual I know what I'm doing.
Unfortunately,
I do know what I'm doing, and...
Yeah, but as you put the hammer down and get out of there, you cut it too fine. You scratch, you catch along the edge of the garage door. Smoke starts to billow out from your engine, and you're not out of here in time for the Stormtrooper squad that comes out and starts a volley of fire at you in the car before you can get away.
We're too heavy. We're too heavy. We're too heavy.
Prinkle drops down.
No!
You got an advantage though, didn't you?
I got 3 advantage.
You got 3 advantage. I'll give them a black die, shall I?
Okay, yes please.
Oh, you spawny get. It's
good.
It's because of that black die. It is a hit, but it's only just a hit. It's not enough to do you any damage, but you're running at half power. Basically, it's taken out one of the 2 thrusters. You're running slow, and you're going to be leaving a trail that they can track.
We've lost the main thruster. It's alright, we've got to back up, but we've lost the main thruster. Hang on, I pull a thing, I pull another thing, I lean over, because you always have to lean over and flip some switches, even though one of the switches does nothing. Flip some switches, and that I shut that down, but it's still just going to smoke, isn't it?
Do any of you have mechanics?
No. Oh, does anyone else on there?
Not on your skiff, I suspect.
Nope.
Prinkle, God bless him, he does. He looks at what's going on. He says,
Just keep going! Put your foot down!
Pulls out his massively oversized spanner in one hand, pulls out a little bundle of... It looks like a spark welder in his other hand, wraps his feet around Pyjak's waist, flips the back bonnet so it bounces off into the snow, and leans forward and starts frantically hammering around under the hood.
At this point, I grab the gun that Prinkle had and I start firing behind us. I'm not going to hit anything, but it adds to the ambience of the entire scene.
He just about managed... I mean, you stop for a second, your impellers go completely, you skid through the snow, bounce, bounce, bounce. Then with a roar, the power comes back, the anti-grav, the repulsors come back, the engines both kick back in, and you whistle away. Prinkle just about holding on, but dropping his spanner and his gyro welder as the acceleration kicks in.
Okay!
Pringle, you're a hero. Also, I think I've broken something serious, but let's keep going.
You whip round. You can see in the distance Agatha and Larsa ahead. They're not leaving much of a path, but you are, unfortunately. You are leaving a bit of a path.
Well, bolts, hydro spanners, and bits of small.
Oberon, do not worry. They know where we're going. We just need to get there as quick as we can.
It takes a bit of time. Luckily, the last speeder is not in commission enough to get them chasing after you. Mm-hmm. There's no shuttles around here, so they're not able to pursue you. You know, they fire a few volleys after you, but when it's clear that you're making away, they seem to give up the chase and go in. After about half an hour of nail-biting tension, you pull up to a halt outside Pyjak's place.
I'm going to assume that you've been sort of slicing ahead to try and make sure it's open for when we get there.
Yep, I'll allow that. You're a few minutes ahead of them. You can see them coming. You get there, you open the door, and as you turn round and watch the other speeder arrive, as they bundle out nervous, you see, coming into land through orbit, heading to the base, an Imperial transport shuttle. And that's where we're going to call it. As our heroes successfully arrive back at Pyjak's place, hopefully to uncover the secret of Coldfire's mercy and exactly what's going on, and maybe escape the planet before 10th Brother catches up. Will they make it? Will they succeed? Or will their darkest Force visions come to pass? Find out next time on Force Majeure. Thank you for listening. Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. You can find us on Twitter at Force Majeure Pod, on Instagram at Force Majeure Pod, on email at forcemajeurepod@gmail.com, and our website at forcemajeurepod.com. If you're enjoying the show, please let us know, talk to us on social media or drop us a review. We'd be very grateful. It lets us know that we're telling the kind of stories that you want to hear. Our intro music is Actionable by Ben Sounds, and our outro music is Suburban Outlaw by Forget the Whale, both used with gratitude under the Creative Commons license. An amount of the sound effects and ambient sound in our show is provided by Sirenscape, because epic games deserve epic sounds. For episode-specific attribution for some of the music used, again under Creative Commons, please see the individual episode descriptions for details. Thank you very much, we hope you're enjoying the show, and we'll catch you next time.